Welcome to the Defining Moments Black Men series of the Authentic Joe Show. I'm your host, Jolena Johnson, and it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome Dr. Kenneth Ausmer, my dentist, to this broadcast. How are you today?
Great. Wonderful.
Good. I hope it's okay that I took credit, that I gave you credit for my smile.
Absolutely.
Okay, so can you tell us a little about yourself, your occupation, and your background?
Hey, well, my name is Dr. Kenneth Ausmer, as you stated earlier. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri, and I actually migrated down here to attend med school, the Southern Illinois University School of Dentistry. And I was back here probably about a little over 30 years ago. And I finished back in 1993, and I've been practicing this profession now for the last 30 years as a general practitioner, emphasizing on cosmetic enhancements, making a person smile more attractive, just more presentable. That's the fad today. People want the brighter, whiter smile, so
Mhm.
we try to emphasize on cosmetic dentistry as well as restorative dentistry as well.
Okay, very good. Thank you. How would you describe yourself?
More of a laid back, humble person. I feel like I'm a very blessed person.
Mhm.
I thank God for allowing me to have opportunities in my life to be able to share my craft and my profession with people and to mentor, especially to a lot of young people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
yes,
I think that's
absolutely.
something that's needed today.
Yes. That's one of the reasons we have this show. So thank you. If you had to pick a phrase that would be the theme for your life, what would it be?
Praise for the theme of my life. Hmm. I guess I would say always something, look forward to something new to come around the corner. Be expecting something new, adventurous, never settle on just the present day.
Mhm.
Just, always be in a position looking for something new and exciting to go on in life and wait to experience it, and that's what it is. Life is a journey and just enjoy it to the fullest.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so a lot of people may say, what is a defining moment? So let me share. A defining moment is a point in life when a pivotal decision must be made or when an experience fundamentally changes a person. What defining moment would you be willing to share with us today?
Well, I would have to say one of the most defining moments for me was when I decided to get married. I met
Oh,
my wonderful wife, and I actually was with my mother when I met her. We was in a grocery store, and I happened to see this young lady, and I actually was attracted to what was in her basket initially. And when I saw that, I was like, man, she's either got a good appetite or she's cooking for a man.
now we have to know what was in the basket.
Fortunately, she had a good appetite. So one thing led to another. We introduced ourselves, and then we struck up good conversation, and then a couple of years later, I proposed, and we got married, and then from then on, that was my goal in life was to make her happy, be happy, and have a wonderful family. And I think we succeeded at this point, and we're still going.
That's wonderful. So I have some questions. So how long have you been married now?
Been married 20 years, going on 21 years.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
And did she meet your mom that night? What happened with your mom? So you saw
Absolutely.
her.
Yeah, absolutely. My mom met her, and my mom was in agreement with me what was in the basket. She said, those look like some good victuals. I said, yeah. And I said, I want she could either, I was excited. And then as a result of that, my mom did get a chance to meet her, and she had a good rapport with my mom, had a great relationship. Uh, and unfortunately, my mom actually passed away before we actually got married. But
Oh,
still, she knew her, and my mom always told me, make sure you do right by her. And so I, did what she said.
oh, that is so wonderful. You're the first to share a love story. So this is
Yeah.
so awesome. Okay, so what was it? So of course you said you were initially attracted to her basket. So people say, oh, there's love at first sight, or they'll say all these other things, but this actually, you're like, look, we met in the store. I was with my mom. So tell us a few things that happened for you that let this was a possibility, or what did you feel? What did you think? What did you start to do?
I'm a very spiritual person, and I knew at that point in time in my life, I was looking to settle down, and I prayed to God. I said, I'm looking for someone I can have as a wife. and to raise a family with. And then you just never know. You know what I'm saying? You got to be listening to the Lord. And when I saw Kim, obviously Kim, she's a very attractive young lady. That's my wife's name, Kim. And
Hmm.
I saw her previously, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior to me seeing her in this grocery store. And she was on a campus of a university in a bookstore. And I happened to saw her. She had a really nice dress on her. And I was in the process of getting some supplies for a meeting. When I
Okay.
saw her, she was headed to the front to check out, and I was still gathering my supplies. And by the time I got up to check out, she was finished and was heading out the door. And myself, I was rushing the cashier. I was like, "Hurry up, man, hurry up," because she's leaving. I want to try to catch up with this young lady. And by the time he finished with my transaction, she was pulling off the parking lot, going bye bye. And then, fortunately, like I said, God brought her in my pathway again. I saw her maybe about 3 weeks to 4 weeks later in the grocery store, and that was the time I had my mother with me. It was perfect. And when we saw each other, I was like, "This is her."
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you have a person, especially a man, and you know, men, especially successful men, because I think I heard you say you were already a dentist for 10 years. If you all have been married 20, so
Hmm.
you were already a dentist for a while. So
Absolutely.
you have these single men, professionals, and there's so many women out here. So what would you say about the importance of finding a good wife? What are three benefits to having your wife, not just a wife?
In my situation, I knew that you know she had to be spiritually based, and
Okay.
she was that. We had we just had a good vibe with one another. The feeling that when you meet that person, you don't have to work at it. When you have to work at it, then it may not be for you. But
Mhm.
everything came so easily. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the other thing that was a sell, I knew the fact she liked to cook, so that was I immediately observed that when I noticed her, the groceries is in her basket.
Right.
And then we genuinely enjoyed each other. We were both in a situation where we were both professionals.
Hmm.
And at the time, Kim, she was assistant VP in the banking institution, and here I was a professional. And when I met Kim, it's like judging a book by its cover.
Hmm.
So she didn't know what I did for a living and vice versa. I just knew that when I met her, I was very attracted to her, and we had a good connection and vibe. And I used to tell people, you never judge a book by its cover. And then as we spent time and grew to know each other, we realized we had things in common as far as our backgrounds, where our families, our spirituality, and what we wanted out of life. You know,
Hmm.
and it made it so easy for me to make that decision. And I did. I would tell a lot of my friends that I waited. I didn't rush to get married when I got out of school, or when I got my career started. And I didn't get married till I was 35 years old.
Okay.
And so I was a little bit older. I had, for the most part, spent a lot of time in school and training. So I just wanted to make sure that I was prepared. And I didn't think it would be fair at the time to get married at 25, 26, because I was spending so much time, with my training and getting my life prepared for my career, that
Hmm.
it just didn't seem fair for me to try to rush into something at the time. I'm glad I did it, because I probably would have never met Kim. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Well, that says a lot, because I think, who doesn't want love? But like you said, it shouldn't take a lot of effort, and it should be natural. I think that's fantastic, especially so I'm a divorcee. So,
Right.
to hear this is very refreshing.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all are partners in a lot of things. You have your children and you have your medical practice or your dental practice. So can you
Absolutely.
tell us, why this is totally off the subject of your defining moment. So, what are three good reasons that people should make regular dental appointments?
Well, the thing about it is we tell people try to at least make sure you visit the dentist, at least twice a year,
Hmm.
every 6 months. And I tell people all the time when I run into them, I said, coming to the dentist is like almost like doing maintenance on a vehicle.
Yes.
When you drive a car, at some point in time, you're going to need to change the oil,
Hmm.
change the brakes, or change the tires.
Right.
In most of these vehicles, they give you some type of indicator. They'll
Right.
tell you, when your car may say, "Hey, you're up for maintenance." Pay
Hmm.
attention to that. Okay.
Hmm.
And the thing about it is, it'll save you a lot of headaches, a lot of, money,
Hmm.
expenses, and heartache. The same thing would come to the dentist. If you're a mechanic, then basically you can work on your own vehicle. Most
Yes.
people are not dentists. They don't know what's going on in their mouths until, like I like to say all the time, the engine light comes on. Well,
Yes.
when the engine light comes on with a dental emergency, it's usually some pain involved,
Right.
some discomfort. Okay. So I'm not telling people not to come then, but if you come like every 6 months, like we recommend, you can be proactive. We can catch things before they blow up, per
Mm-hmm.
se, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then you can just do minimally invasive treatment, and then it won't be as expensive or painful per se. That's
Yeah.
one thing people hate going to the dentist for because of pain. Well, a lot of times they'll come to see me because they're in pain.
Right.
Okay. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to kind of ease that, reverse that psychology of just be
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, come in just like
Mm-hmm.
because we're one thing I tell people all the time that I don't have to tell everyone to do is
Mm-hmm.
to eat.
That's true. That's
We're,
true. You don't
we're
have to
gonna do
tell
that.
us. Yes, we're
Yeah,
going to do it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna do that. So and the thing about it is I don't need to encourage anyone to do that, but just encouraging people do your regular maintenance, make sure you're brushing twice a day, flossing daily, the
Mm-hmm.
minimum, and then keep up with your dental appointments.
Okay, thank you. So I
Mhm.
do have more that I would like to do, but I am so happy. I want to speak to your speak your praises because I never really liked going to the dentist, but I found you after I had gone through a couple of dentists. I was very unsatisfied with some of the work I had done, and I happened to run into Kim, and we used to go to school together. And she said, "Oh, my husband is a dentist." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yes." I said, "I'm there," and that was it.
Right.
And you did fill one of my cavities, and I didn't even have to have a shot, and I was just so shocked. And I want to tell you, your demeanor, your practice, your person is just so refreshing and amazing. And I do feel comfortable. I'm still nervous when I go to the dentist just
Yeah.
because of the years of, oh,
Right.
what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
At the same time, just being there in your office, it's just such a warm environment. And I just highly recommend you for people who are in St. Louis, but just in general, even when you're looking at finding a mate, or finding a partner, or finding someone to serve you in your medical needs or your dental needs, you should find someone who you can trust and you feel like not only do they have experience, but they actually care about you, and you
Yes.
actually do that with your patients. And that's one of the reasons I wanted people to meet you, because I didn't know what defining moment you were going to share. And at the same time, you're just a great guy. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So before we go, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share about love or anything else?
Well, one thing I would like to say is like our practice now, we're focusing mainly, we do a lot of what we call custom smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And basically, people are looking to enhance their smiles with whiter teeth, straighter teeth. You have a lot of patients that actually like to go abroad for this, and there's no need to. And I tell people all the time, we try to do a non invasive approach to creating cosmetic smiles. When I say non invasive, just like I did with you, I didn't have to use any anesthesia. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't use any needles. I didn't use any drills. But
Mm-hmm.
we were able to create some dramatic results,
Yes.
and people need to be aware of that. And a lot of people would travel abroad and go to, South America, what have you, to get cosmetic therapy.
Okay.
And that's nothing wrong with that. I can't spend anybody's money for them, but
Mhm.
I informed them that why would you go somewhere where they first and foremost tell you when you get off the plane, don't drink the water.
Yes, that's so true. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. And so I'm not saying that's a no for that, but the other option, the other flip side of that is when you go to get this type of treatment, they don't probably tell you that they're going to actually grind your teeth down. But once you start grinding on a person's teeth, it's irreversible. You can't go back and get that precious enamel, you know. And with the technique that I do for veneers, we use a no prep technique, which and this type of technique been known to last between 25 and 30 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I want people to know about that, and then people to know that we're here to serve the community.
Thank you so much, Dr. Osmer. Please keep up the great work. And I will be putting a link for your practice in the comments for this show.
All
And
right.
I will see you. I was just there last month, so I will not see you for another 6 months. Thank you.
Okay. But that's
No,
right.
really. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care now.